Hello and welcome to Speak Bridge Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak Bridge Podcast. Today, we are going to dive into an emotional, shocking, and unforgettable love story that will take you through trust, heartbreak, sacrifice, and a twist you will never see coming. Stay with us till the end because this story will touch your heart in a deep way. Today, I am here with Arjun Mehra.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today. Honestly, I never thought I would share this story publicly, but I think people need to hear it. Let's start from the beginning.
Arjun, I want you to take us back to that time. Where did it all begin? How did this love story even start?
It started in a very ordinary way, but it turned into something unforgettable. I still remember the first day I saw her. It was during my college days in Dhaka. She was sitting near the library window, reading a book like the whole world didn't matter to her. There was something calm, something different about her. Her name was Ayesha Rahman. I didn't know then that this simple moment would change my entire life.
So it was love at first sight for you?
I wouldn't call it love at first sight, maybe curiosity at first sight. But every day after that, I found excuses to go to the library just to see her, just to sit somewhere close. We never talked at first. It was all silent connection, eye contact, small moments. But those small moments slowly started becoming important to me.
And when did the first conversation happen?
It happened on a rainy afternoon. I was stuck in the library because of heavy rain. She was there too. Suddenly, a book fell from her table. I picked it up and handed it to her. That was it. That was our first real interaction. She smiled and said, "Thank you." That one smile, I still remember it clearly. It felt like time stopped for a second.
That sounds like a beautiful beginning. What happened after that moment?
After that, things slowly started changing. We started talking little by little, first about books, then studies, then life. She was very intelligent, very emotional, and very honest. I felt like I could talk to her about anything. But I also noticed something. She had a hidden sadness in her eyes. I didn't understand it at the time.
Did you try to find out what was behind that sadness?
Not immediately. I was afraid of crossing a line. But I always felt it. Every smile she gave had a little pain behind it. And that made me even more attached to her. I wanted to know her fully. Not just a happy version, but everything.
And that's where everything really started, right?
Yes, that's where everything truly began. I just didn't know at the time that this love story was going to change my life forever in a way I could never imagine.
Arjun, after that first connection and those small talks, what changed between you two? When did it move from just casual conversations to something deeper?
It started very slowly. We began meeting more often in the library, sometimes at the campus cafe. At first it was just, "Hi, and how are you?" But soon we were sitting together for hours. We talked about dreams, family pressure, future plans. I noticed she never talked much about her personal life. She always shifted the topic when it got too personal. But I didn't push her.
So she was still holding something back?
Yes, completely. And that mystery made me even more interested in her. I started waiting for her messages. If she didn't come to campus one day, I felt uneasy. It was like my mood depended on her presence. I didn't realize it then, but I was already falling for her deeply.
And what about her? Did you feel she was also developing feelings?
It was confusing. Some days she was very warm, she laughed at my jokes, she shared her food with me and stayed longer just to talk. But other days she became distant, like she suddenly built a wall. That emotional shift kept me guessing all the time.
That sounds emotionally intense already. What was your next step?
I decided to confess, but not directly. One evening, we were sitting near the campus lake. The sky was orange, everything felt peaceful. I told her, I feel really comfortable with you, like I can be myself." She looked at me for a long time, but didn't say anything. That silence, it was heavy.
Did she respond after that silence?
Yes, but not the way I expected. She said, "Arjun, some people come into our life for peace, not for love." That sentence confused me. I asked her what she meant, but she just smiled sadly and changed the topic. That was the first time I felt something was seriously complicated in her life.
That's a very deep line. What did you feel at that moment?
I felt a mix of hope and fear. Hope because she didn't reject me directly, fear because I realized she was holding a story I didn't know yet. But still, I didn't step back. I got more attached.
And did that moment change your relationship?
Yes. After that, everything started becoming more emotional, more confusing. I could feel we were getting closer, but at the same time, something invisible was pulling her away from me, and I was about to find out what that was soon.
Arjun, after that emotional moment by the lake, things started getting more intense between you two. But you also said there was something pulling her away. What happened next?
After that day, everything felt different. We still talked, we still met, but I could feel her distance growing again. She would reply late to messages, sometimes not reply at all. When we met in person, she looked distracted, like her mind was somewhere else. I kept asking myself if I did something wrong, but I couldn't find an answer.
Did you try to confront her about this change?
Yes, one evening I couldn't hold it anymore. I asked her directly, Aisha, did I do something? You feel so far away lately. She looked shocked for a moment, then forced a smile. She said she was just stressed with family issues, but her eyes didn't match her words. I knew she was hiding something deeper.
And did you believe her?
I wanted to believe her, but my heart didn't. Still, I didn't push too hard because I was afraid of losing her completely. Instead, I tried to be more supportive. I would bring her coffee, walk her back to her hostel, and try to make her smile. But nothing felt the same anymore.
That must have been painful. Did anything major happen during this period?
Yes, one evening changed everything. It was raining heavily again, just like the day we first talked. I went to meet her near the campus gate, but when I reached there, I saw something I was not prepared for. She was standing with someone else, a man I had never seen before.
What do you mean? Who was he?
He looked older, maybe late 20s. He was speaking to her very seriously. She looked nervous, even scared. When she saw me, her face turned pale instantly. That moment, I knew my life was about to take a completely different turn.
What did you do when you saw them together?
I froze for a few seconds. Then I slowly walked closer. But before I could say anything, that man looked at me and said, "You should stay away from her." His voice was calm but very firm. I looked at Aisha, waiting for an explanation, but she couldn't even look into my eyes.
That sounds like a breaking point. What did you feel?
My heart dropped. Confusion, anger, fear, everything mixed together. I finally realized there was a hidden truth in her life that I was never part of. And that night, I went home without any answers, only questions. And that was the beginning of the real pain.
Arjun, that moment must have shattered you. You saw her with that man and she couldn't even look at you? What happened after you went home that night?
That night, I couldn't sleep at all. My mind kept replaying the same scene again and again. Her pale face, his warning, her silence. I kept asking myself what kind of truth she was hiding from me. I trusted her deeply, but suddenly everything felt uncertain. It was like the foundation of my feelings had cracked.
Did you reach out to her after that incident?
Yes, I messaged her many times that night. I asked her simple questions like, who was he? And why did he tell me to stay away? But she didn't reply, not even a single word. That silence hurt more than anything. I felt completely shut out of her life.
And the next day, did you meet her?
I waited for her near the library the next day. When she finally came, she looked tired, like she hadn't slept either. I walked up to her and asked her directly. Before I could even finish, she said, "Arjun, please don't ask me about yesterday." Her voice was shaking. I had never seen her like that before.
That must have made things even more confusing for you.
Exactly. I told her I deserved to know the truth if I care about you. That's when she suddenly grabbed my hand and said softly, "You don't understand. Some truths destroy people." Then she pulled her hand away and walked off quickly. I just stood there, frozen.
Wow, that sounds very serious. Did you follow her?
I wanted to, but I didn't. Something inside me told me to stop. That was the first time I felt like I was dealing with something much bigger than a normal relationship problem. It wasn't just love anymore. It felt like danger was involved.
So what did you do after that? I decided to find out the truth myself. I couldn't stay in confusion anymore. I started observing her more carefully, her movements, her calls, even the time she disappeared from campus. And slowly, I started noticing patterns that made everything even more complicated.
Patterns? What kind of patterns?
She would leave campus suddenly at specific times, always alone, always nervous. And sometimes I saw the same car waiting near the gate, the same man. And that's when I realized this story was not just about love anymore. It was hiding something I was not ready for at all. Arjun, you started noticing patterns and the same man again and again. That must have made everything even more serious. What did you do next?
I couldn't ignore it anymore. One evening, I decided to follow her quietly after classes. I kept distance so she wouldn't notice me. She walked fast, almost like she was in a hurry, and left the campus through the back gate. My heart was beating so fast I could barely breathe. I had never done something like this before.
And where did she go?
She went to a quiet street near the old part of the city. There was a black car waiting there, the same car I'd seen before. That man was inside. She got in without saying much. I stood far away behind a wall watching everything. I felt helpless, like I was watching someone I loved disappear into a world I couldn't enter.
Did you try to approach them?
I wanted to, but I didn't. Something about the situation felt dangerous. Instead, I followed the car on a rickshaw from a distance. It led to a private-looking building, not like a house, more like an office or some restricted place. She went inside with them and the gates closed.
That must have been very painful for you.
It was. I waited outside for almost an hour. My mind was full of questions. Why was she meeting him secretly? Why did she hide this from me? When she finally came out, her face looked even more broken than before. But the moment she saw me standing there, her eyes widened in fear.
Fear? From you?
Yes. She rushed toward me and said, "Arjun, why are you here? You shouldn't follow me like this." Her voice was shaky, but also angry. I told her I needed answers. That's when she suddenly grabbed my wrist and said, "Please leave this. You don't understand what you are getting into."
That sounds like she was trying to protect you.
That's exactly what confused me more. Was she hiding something dangerous, or was she trying to protect me from that man? I couldn't tell anymore. Everything felt mixed. Love, fear, secrecy, and tension. And I could feel one thing clearly. I was getting closer to a truth that would change everything between us.
Arjun, at this point, everything sounds like it's getting more dangerous and emotional at the same time. After she warned you to leave it, what did you do?
I couldn't just walk away. That night, I kept thinking about her words again and again. You don't understand what you are getting into. It didn't sound like a normal relationship issue anymore. It sounded like fear. So I made a decision. I had to know who that man really was.
So you started investigating him.
Yes. I went back to campus records, asked a few students quietly, even tried to check around the area where I saw the building. Slowly, I heard small rumors. People didn't know much, but one thing kept coming up. That man was connected to some serious business, and he wasn't someone to be questioned easily.
Did that scare you?
Honestly, yes. For the first time, I felt real fear. But my feelings for Ayesha were stronger than that fear. I just needed to understand why she was involved with him. That was the only thing in my mind.
And did you find anything about Ayesha herself?
I tried to find out more about her past. I talked to a few classmates who knew her before me. One of them hesitated a lot before saying something. Then she told me, Ayesha wasn't always like this. Something changed in her last year. After that, she became very quiet and secretive.
That must have added more mystery to everything.
It did. I started realizing I didn't really know her full story. I knew her present, her smile, her voice, but not her past. And that gap was growing bigger every day. I felt like I was loving someone I didn't fully understand.
So what was your next move after hearing all this?
I decided I had to talk to her one last time. Honestly, no hiding, no silence, no running away. I sent her a message saying, "We need to meet tonight. I need the truth." And for the first time in days, she replied immediately with just one line, Come to the lake at 9. Don't bring anyone.
That sounds like a turning point.
Yes, I didn't know it then, but that message was the beginning of the moment everything in my life was about to change completely.
Arjun, you got that message from Ayesha to meet at the lake at 9 p.m. That must have felt heavy. What was going through your mind before going there?
I was nervous the whole day. I couldn't focus on anything. My heart was telling me this meeting would change everything. At the same time, I felt a strange calm, like finally I would get answers. I reached the lake a little early. The place was quiet, only the sound of water and wind. Everything felt unreal.
And when she arrived?
She came exactly at 9. She was wearing a simple dress, but her face, it looked exhausted, like she had been carrying something heavy for a long time. She didn't smile. She just stood there for a moment looking at the water, not at me. That silence between us felt longer than ever before.
Did you break the silence first?
Yes, I said, Ayesha, I need the truth. No more hiding. My voice was shaking, but I tried to stay strong. She slowly turned toward me and said, Arjun, I told you not to get involved, but you didn't listen. Her eyes were full of pain, not anger.
What did you say then?
I told her, because I care about you, and I deserve to know what's destroying you. That's when she finally broke. She sat down near the lake and said, It's not simple. That man you saw, he is not just someone I know.
So, who was he?
She took a deep breath and said something that shocked me completely. He is my father's business partner, but also the reason my life changed last year. I froze. She continued, saying there were financial problems, pressure, and something illegal she got trapped into without choice.
That sounds serious.
It was worse than I imagined. She said she was forced into situations she never wanted, and that man controlled parts of her life. Then she looked at me and said, Arjun, I think they are watching us even now.
Arjun, she just said they are watching us even now. That's terrifying. What happened right after that moment?
I immediately looked around. The entire lake area suddenly felt different. The wind, the shadows, even the silence felt heavy. I asked her who was watching us, but she grabbed my hand and said, Don't look, just listen to me. Her hand was shaking badly.
Did you stay there or leave?
She told me we had to leave right away. We walked fast away from the lake, not running, but almost. She kept checking behind us again and again. I had never seen her so scared. When we reached a crowded street, she finally stopped and tried to breathe normally.
Did she explain anything more?
Not everything. She just said, they don't like questions, and they don't like people getting close to me. Then she looked at me and said something I'll never forget. Arjun, I have already lost too much. I don't want to lose you too.
That sounds emotional and dangerous.
It was both. I told her I'm not leaving you now, not after hearing all this. She shook her head and said, You don't understand. Loving me is not safe. But I couldn't step back anymore. I was already too deep in this.
So what did you decide?
I decided I would stand by her, no matter what. But she suddenly changed her tone and said, Then you need to do something for me. She gave me a small folded paper and said, Keep this safe. Don't open it unless I tell you. Then she walked away quickly into the crowd.
And you didn't open it?
I didn't, at least not immediately. I kept staring at that paper the whole night. My mind was full of fear and curiosity. Who are they? What is inside this paper? And why was she trusting me with something so important?
This feels like a turning point again.
Yes, because after that night, everything changed. The next morning, I got a message from her that I will never forget. It just said, Don't come to campus today. Please trust me. And that was the last peaceful moment before everything started to fall apart again.
Arjun, after that message from Ayesha telling you not to come to campus, that sounds like a warning. What did you do the next day?
I couldn't stay at home. My mind was full of fear and confusion. Why would she tell me not to come? Was she in danger, or was I in danger? I decided to go anyway, but I stayed hidden near the campus entrance. I wanted to see what was happening without being seen.
And did you see her?
Yes, but not alone. I saw that same black car again. The man was there. Ayesha came out of another building on campus, but she looked stressed, like she was forced to go somewhere. She got into the car again. My stomach dropped instantly.
So she was taken again?
It felt like that. I tried to follow, but this time the car moved fast and I lost it within minutes. I felt helpless again, like I was always one step behind the truth. I stood there thinking, if I don't act now, I might lose her completely.
What did you decide after that?
I finally opened the folded paper she gave me. My hands were shaking so badly. Inside it was a small address, a phone number, and one line, written in her handwriting. If something happens, go here. Don't trust anyone.
That sounds like a backup plan, like she expected danger.
Exactly. That's when I realized this wasn't just emotional anymore. It was serious, maybe even life-threatening. I called the number immediately, but it was switched off, so I decided to go to the address myself.
And what was that place?
It was outside the main city, a quiet, almost abandoned-looking building. No signboard, no security, just a locked gate. Everything inside me was telling me to turn back, but I couldn't. I had come too far to stop.
Did you go inside?
Yes, I pushed the gate slowly and stepped inside. The air felt different, heavy, like something was waiting for me. And as I took a few steps forward, I saw something that made my heart stop completely.
What did you see, Arjun?
I saw Ayesha's phone on the ground, cracked, and next to it, a bracelet I had given her. At that moment, I realized she hadn't just disappeared. Something had happened to her, and I was now standing right in the middle of it.
Arjun, you found her phone and the bracelet. That must have felt like the worst moment of your life. What happened after you stepped inside that place?
I stood there, frozen for a few seconds. My mind was telling me something terrible happened. I walked deeper inside the building, calling her name, but there was no answer. Everything was silent. Then I noticed a small envelope placed on a table in the corner. My hands were shaking when I opened it.
What was inside?
It was a letter from Ayesha. She wrote, "Arjun, if you are reading this, I'm already far away. I didn't disappear because I was taken. I left to protect you." She explained everything. That man was controlling her life and threatening anyone close to her. She had been planning this escape for weeks.
So she chose to leave you to save you?
Yes, and that hurt more than anything. She wrote that the bracelet and phone were left on purpose to make it look suspicious, so no one would follow her easily. She said she loved me, but staying would destroy both of us. She ended with, "Someday, when everything is safe, maybe we will meet again."
That's heartbreaking, Arjun. It really was. How did you move forward after that?
It took time. I had to accept that some love stories are not about staying together, but about sacrifice. She changed my life forever. I never saw her again, but I carry her memory with respect, not regret.
This story is truly emotional, Arjun. Before we end, what message would you give to listeners?
I would say, real love is not always about holding on. Sometimes it's about letting go to protect someone. Trust, truth, and timing matter more than emotions alone.
Thank you so much, Arjun. And to everyone listening, if this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe to Speak Bridge Podcast, share this episode with someone you care about, and stay connected for more emotional stories like this. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care and stay safe.